Bonjour everyone. We are currently sitting in the profound space between two eclipses. In this video, I want to help you understand the unusual energies moving through our lives right now. We are balancing the fresh start energy of the August 13th total solar eclipse at 20 degrees of Leo and the upcoming emotional closures of the August 28th partial lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Pisces. It is a literal baseline of endings and beginnings. Because there is so much to digest, feel free to watch this video in sequences. So let's dive into how these two cosmic portals are reshaping our world. So emotions run high. Heightened sensitivity or sudden shifts in perspective are very common right now. Clear answers take time to cook. Details surface in pieces rather than all at once. And in this liminal space, you are invited to notice what suddenly feels vital versus what you are naturally losing interest in. And this mental and emotional processing requires extra physical energy. So rest more, write it down. That will help you track fleeting realizations before the final lunar peak. Release all baggage by letting go of routines or mindsets that no longer fit who you are becoming. So first, let's look at the chart of the eclipse that happened on the 13th of August. And it's a big wow. Here during this eclipse, you see that we are stepping into a rare celestial architecture. The sky has woven a complex geometric tapestry. It is a busy network of conversations or aspects, involving the outer planets Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and I include Jupiter, and the personal planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And that creates a rare configuration, similar to the one we had during the last full moon in Aquarius on the 30th of July. It is another Barbo's basket, but this one is much, much bigger. And this basket acts as an evolutionary container that weaves high frequency, creative potential with deep personal and collective transformation. And this big basket is full of goodies. It contains an air grand trine between Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, Venus in Libra, and Uranus in Gemini. And with the addition of Neptune retrograde in Aries and Mercury in Leo, the air grand trine evolves into two kites patterns in togetherness. This complex network reinforces an intellectual, communicative, and socially progressive and smooth flow through the air signs. But the basket also contains some tension, a T-square, anchored by the apex Mars in Cancer and a set of two oppositions, Venus opposing Neptune and Mercury opposing Pluto. And this T-square provides the necessary friction, the drive, and wake-up calls to activate the otherwise smooth flow of the basket. And to amplify this entire geometry, we have the total eclipse new moon in Leo that put the focus on collective and personal themes, on identity, expression, and dramatic turning points. So to really see where this unusual eclipse is impacting you in which domains of your life, look at where, in which specific houses it falls into your natal chart. It is very important because in astrology we view total solar eclipses as amplified new moons, and their themes or turning points and fated shifts unfold over 6 to 12 months. Astrology is the study of cosmic resonance, and this rare big basket involving so many planets is like a cosmic choir. And here again, I feel strongly the vibration of Pono. Why again? Because if you go back to my last video of the full moon in Aquarius of the 30th of July, the energy of Pono, the last of the 7 principles of the Huna philosophy, was already very strong. I invite you to look at the 7 principles of the Huna philosophy. They are fantastic supportive tools that offer a highly practical framework for self-realization, conscious creation, and navigating your life's challenges. I am practicing them often in my own flow of life. So Pono asks you to tune into the vibrational frequencies that all the planets involved in the basket are singing. And during this eclipse time, the universe is emitting 2 conflicting frequencies. First, there is a high friction frequency with the oppositions between Mercury, Pluto, and Venus, Neptune that creates an intense low frequency hum of tension, secrets, and illusions. And wrapping around this tension, there is a flawless flowing chain of the 4 sextiles, creating the basket, and that is the second harmonizing frequency. So think of this basket configuration as a resonant acoustic chamber. The universe is not letting the harsh oppositions tear us apart. Instead, it catches the friction and reflects it through a series of supportive steps, the 4 sextiles, converting raw pressure into a beautiful harmonic melody. And for the next 6-12 months, because it is a solar eclipse, new moon, and then the impact can be felt on a much longer period than a normal new moon. So during this time, this basket configuration brings us again face to face with Pono that talks about effectiveness, rightness, and alignment. Pono teaches us that effectiveness is a measure of truth. It represents a state of perfect harmony with yourself, others, and the universe. And with this eclipse at 20 degrees of Leo and the South Node tightly bound at the final anoretic 29 degrees of Leo, the cosmos is initiating a massive karmic purging event. Here the collective is being forced to shed the low-frequency expressions of Leo, the artificial pride, the performance of identity, and the desperate need for external validation. Therefore, to be Pono right now means to stop performing. When the sun goes dark during a total eclipse, a total solar eclipse, the external spotlights are turned off. You are left in the dark with your raw, unedited soul. Pono is the frequency of absolute authenticity, being right with your inner light when no one else is watching. And look at Uranus in Gemini. He is sitting at the very base of the cosmic basket, acting as a vital anchor for the air grand trine. For me, this placement perfectly mirrors the myth of Pandora's box. I see the big basket like a Pandora's box. In the myth, when Pandora's box was opened, all the world's darkness, chaos, and heavy frequencies escaped into the collective. Look around us today. The swift, chaotic information storms of Gemini and the revolutionary disruptions of Uranus are cracking open all systemic boxes, releasing hidden truths and collective anxieties. But remember, the most vital part of the myth, at the very bottom of the box, underneath all the chaos, hope remained. For me, Uranus in Gemini at the very bottom of the basket is that exact frequency of hope. And it is not a passive, wishful hope. It is an Uranian, electrifying hope. Uranus here sits as the awakener, and he is supported by the brilliant mind of the air grand trine. Uranus represents our capacity for sudden genius, innovative solutions, and the collective awakening required to build a new world out of the ashes of the old. The total solar eclipse activates another powerful geometric portal that is not part of the big basket but adds its frequency to the eclipse. I'm talking about the minor grand trine formed by the North Node in Aquarius, in trine to Mars in Cancer, and both are in sextile to Chiron retrograde in Taurus. This planetary alignment talks about collective healing, showing us how to sync our individual heartbeats into a unified global frequency. The North Node in Aquarius indicates our collective evolution and future destiny. It shifts the focus of our individual ego validation toward a network integration, collaboration, community consciousness, a heart solidarity. This is a call for group entrainment. We are invited to gather in digital or physical spaces with unified positive intention. By meditating, creating and radiating intentional thoughts together, we construct a high-frequency grid across the planet to elevate the resonance of Mother Earth and heal humanity. Mars in Cancer represents actions guided by emotion, intuition, and the instinct to protect life, home, and family. Here, Mars is a warrior of pulsation of the emotional body. It provides the fuel, the vital energy needed to act from the heart. Chiron, the sacred wounded healer, represents the archetypes of deep spiritual lessons. Retrograde in Taurus, the sign of the body, it turns our attention inward to heal our physical body disconnections and feelings of material scarcity. Taurus links us directly to the physical vibration of the earth, the Schumann resonance. As Chiron retrogrades, he clears the static out of our biological wiring. He heals the nervous system, dropping us back into a state of grounded safety, so our physical bodies can comfortably hold the higher frequencies streaming through the eclipse portal. So this minor grand trine acts as a cosmic funnel that blends emotional instinct with physical healing. This harmony creates a deep pocket of therapeutic energy, an active restoration of our well-being. But with the involvement of the North Node in Aquarius, this harmonious energy is then projected outward. The stars are showing us that our personal healing is not meant to be kept in isolation. When we heal ourselves, we shift our frequency. When we project that frequency together, we create a global harmonic entrainment, capable of singing a new peaceful world into existence. So to summarize, this eclipse is an orchestra playing a symphony of coherence. We are not merely solid matter. We are energetic beings. Every atom within us is a high-frequency vibration of energy, constantly shifting and transmitting. Our thoughts, our emotions, the steady rhythm of our heart, and the subtle adjustment of our autonomic system, nervous system, are all waves of energy. When these internal systems align and dance together, we enter a state of entrainment, a physiological and energetic state of coherence. The heart acts as a master conductor of this entire orchestra, sending rhythmic electromagnetic signals that organize and harmonize the rest of the body. When we are in entrainment, our frequency expands outward, shifting the vibration of the people, the environments, and the collective field around us. So imagine that the cosmic basket of this eclipse is an energetic portal. And now vision the kites that are flying high above the basket. The heavy T-square with the apex Mars in Cancer and the harsh oppositions Venus, Neptune and Mercury, Pluto are the stormy winds. The air grand trine is the lightweight, flexible frames of the kites. And the Leo total solar eclipse is your hand that boldly launches the kites into the sky. You do not deny the chaos pouring out of the Pandora's basket. You use the wind of that chaos to lift your consciousness higher, anchoring yourself firmly in the frequency of Pono. We are navigating a unique cosmic shift here. This first eclipse starts a fresh chapter in the Aquarius-Leo axis, while the second eclipse closes a major cycle in Pisces-Virgo. Because these energies are intense and different, I invite you now to pause the video after the first eclipse explanation. Take a short break. Grab a coffee, let the information integrate, and resume the second half when you feel ready. So now let's talk about the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 28th of August 2026 at 2:20 p.m. Brisbane time, Australia, and she's sitting at 5 degrees of Pisces. This full moon eclipse in Pisces feels like a cosmic graduation ceremony. It is a threshold that represents the final dramatic closing of an old chapter, clearing the stage for a new story that began with the total solar eclipse earlier this month. Straight away, we notice the strong T-square formed by Sun-Mercury conjunction, facing the moon in Pisces, with Uranus in Gemini acting as a wild card catalyst. It is the apex. Simply viewed, it is a tug-of-war and a lightning bolt. With Sun-Mercury in Virgo, you want to analyze, clean, and organize the details of your daily life. But across the sky, the Pisces moon, another part of you, is weeping, dreaming, and dissolving boundaries. So here you are stuck in a tense argument between logic and intuition. But suddenly something happens. Uranus in Gemini crashes the party like a flash of lightning. Uranus breaks the deadlock by injecting a wild, unpredictable plot twist. It forces you to change how you think, speak, and perceive reality. It says, stop trying to fix the old puzzle. I am changing the whole game. And look at the yod pattern, also called the finger of fate, with the sun in Virgo at its apex. Here, the sun receives adjustable tension from Pluto retrograde in Aquarius and Neptune retrograde in Aries. They are the base of this yod triangle. So it is like the finger of fate is pointing at the present moment, the Manava moment. Here I really feel an exact energetic alignment between Manava, the fourth principle of the Huna philosophy, and the finger of fate pointing to the sun in Virgo. Manava says now is a moment of power, be here. The sun in Virgo represents the anchor of the present. Virgo is the present moment, the physical body, the immediate task and daily ritual. While at the base of the Yod Pluton, the underground volcano, and Neptune, the cosmic ocean, are shifting massive tectonic plates in the background. The Yod is pointing to the sun in Virgo. This means that you cannot solve the universe mysteries in the future or the past. You can only handle what is right in front of you. The astral climate of this Pisces eclipse could make you feel scattered, with a strong T-square pointing at Uranus in Gemini. Uranus will tempt you to anxiety about the future. The Pisces moon will tempt you to escape into fantasy or regrets. So the fourth Huna principle, Manava, is your medicine to get your power back. Your only true power exists right now. The universe is telling you, look at your daily life right now. The choices you make in your routine are how you anchor massive generational spiritual shifts. Virgo is a sign of rituals, so it turns ordinary discipline into a sacred act. The traditional ruler of the Pisces moon is Jupiter. Jupiter is in Leo and it dances beautifully in a trine with Saturn retrograde in Aries. Here we have Saturn, the wise architect, and Jupiter, the joyous visionary, conversing harmoniously. While the rest of the sky is chaotic, Jupiter sits proudly in fiery Leo. He wants to expand, celebrate, and shine. And the trine conversation forms a perfect, harmonious bridge to Saturn, the master builder, who is reflecting deeply in Aries. In fact, this conversation represents the anchor of this entire eclipse. It provides structural grace. It promises you that the structural collapse you are feeling is not meant to destroy you. Instead, you are laying the solid foundations for a more authentic, joyful expression of your true self. So look in your birth chart, in which houses or area of your life all the actors of this Pisces eclipse are falling in, to see where you are impacted. In summary, this eclipse is like a sacred editing process. The universe is using the tension between your mind and your spirit to break open old, rigid thinking. While the foundation shifts, you are being handed the blueprint to build something filled with true joy and lasting strength. Let go of what is crumbling. It is making room for the genius. The cosmic energies during this Pisces eclipse are massive, swirling and unpredictable, but the universe is pointing its finger directly at the present moment, the Manava sun in Virgo. You do not change your life by fixing the grand cosmic puzzle. You change your life by being completely present with the breath you are taking right now in the Manava moment. Now is your moment of power. Clean your desk, tend to your body, breathe into this second. That is where the magic lands. I hope you enjoy these 2 videos. Please leave me a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Françoise, the Guiding Star, and share this video if you like it. Your support is much, much welcome for me to continue to share my thoughts. And whenever you feel the calling, book an astrology session with me. Come in person or I will see you online. May we all walk the path of our heart with love and light.